All right, guys, in Jung's The Red Book, this one's called Descent into Hell in the Future. I am falling. The spirit of the depths opened my eyes, and I caught a glimpse of the inner things, the world of my soul, the many formed and changing. I was reading sort of what I highlighted. This one's too long for me to read it, like I read the last one. I have learned that one must give one's heart to men, but one's intellect to the spirit of humanity, God. Then his work can be beyond vanity, since there is no more hypocritical whore than the intellect when it replaces the heart. So I have learned that one must give one's heart to men, but one's intellect to the spirit of humanity. The spirit of the depths opened my eyes, and I caught a glimpse of the inner things. I read that. I see a gray rock face along which I sink into great depths. I stand in black dirt up to my ankles in a dark cave. Shadows sweep over me. I'm seized by fear, but I know I must go in. Beyond this, I catch a glimpse of a luminous red stone which I must reach. I wade through the muddy water. The cave is full of the frightful noise of shrieking voices. Heal the wounds that doubt inflicts on me, my soul. My spirit is a spirit of torment. It tears asunder my contemplation. It would like to dismantle everything and rip it apart. I am still a victim of my thinking. When can I order my thinking to be quiet so that my thoughts, those unruly hounds, will crawl to my feet? How can I ever hope to hear your voice louder, to see your face clearer when all my thoughts howl? Help me so that I do not choke on my own knowledge. The fullness of my knowledge threatens to fall in on me. My knowledge has 1,000 voices, an army roaring like lions. The air trembles when they speak, and I am their defenseless sacrifice. But above all, protect me from the serpent of judgment, which only appears to be a healing serpent, yet in your depths is infernal poison and agonizing death. So something about the light in the cave from the crystal was, I thought, like the stone of wisdom. All right, so something about divine madness. When the desert begins to bloom, it brings forth strange plants. You will consider yourself mad, and in a certain sense, you will in fact be mad, to the extent that the Christianity of this time lacks madness. It lacks divine life. Take note of what the ancients taught us in images. Madness being like craziness. Madness is divine. If you enter into the world of the soul, you are like a madman, the overpowering of the spirit of this time through the spirit of the depths. Balance is godly. The spirit of the depths erupted with force and swept away the spirit of this time with a powerful wave. But the spirit of the depths had gained this power because I had spoken to my soul during 25 nights in the desert, and I'd given her all my love and submission. Differentiate sick and divine delusion. In the depths of what is to come lay murder. The black beetle is the death that is necessary for renewal. And so thereafter a new sun glowed, the sun of the depths. Depths and surface should mix so that new life can develop. The like internal and external depths and surface should mix so that new life can develop. Whoever looks from inside knows that everything is new. That's sort of like so internal is subjective, external is objective. So that was sort of a subjective objective idea. Whoever looks from inside knows that everything is new. I would not have been able to see what was to come if I could not have seen it in myself. They should sacrifice the hero in themselves, and because they do not know this, they kill their courageous brother. Frightful things must happen until men grow ripe, but anything else will not ripen humanity. But the serpents are dreadful, evil thoughts and feelings. Something about the sun motif appears in many places and times, and the meaning is always the same, that a new consciousnness has been born. It is a light of illumination which is projected into space. That's another great thing. So this is a psychological event. The medical term hallucination makes no sense in psychology. The medical term hallucination makes no sense in psychology. I would like you to see what the murdered hero means. Greater height requires greater virtue. We do not possess it. We must first create it by learning to live with our incapacity. We must give it life, or how else shall it develop into ability? So we must first create great heights. which requires great virtue by first learning what we are incapable of. We cannot slay our incapacity and rise above it, but that is precisely what we wanted. Incapacity will overcome us and demand its share of life. Our ability will desert us, and we will believe in the sense of the spirit of this time that it is a loss. Yet it is no loss, but a gain, not for outer trappings, however, but for inner capability. When I was aspiring to my highest worldly power, the spirit of the depths sent me nameless thoughts and visions that wiped out the heroic aspiration in me as our time understands it. The heroic in you is the fact that you are ruled by the thought that this or that is good, that this or that performance is indispensable, this or that cause is objectionable, this or that goal must be attained in headlong striving work, this or that pleasure should be ruthlessly repressed at all costs. Consequently, you sin against incapacity, but incapacity exists. No one should deny it, find fault with it, or shout it down. So I think, again, he's having a discussion with him and his soul. His idea of like trying to do too much. I think he didn't really incapacity. Obviously, he's trying to teach through his experience. I think he's going through something in his young. I think he wrote this when he was like 35. I think he was so driven in his 20s and 30s that maybe he lost himself a bit, lost his spirit of thinking he knew all the answers, right? Thinking he was a god, and that's why he's talking about the soul and feeling like he's in the desert all by himself, alone. And that's where he found himself. He had to regain himself. And again, I'm just getting into the mind of Carl Jung. Interesting.